Okay, in this lesson, we're going to look at maybe in the context of a store,
네.
asking about exchanges or changing something. So
네.
changing one thing for another,
네.
or substituting A with B.
네.
Right. So up here we've got a noun next to 을 or 를,
네.
and another noun next to 로 or simply 로,
네.
and the verb 바꾸다, which means
change.
to change.
네.
Okay, so we're going to use this form to
네.
say, can I change this with this, or
네.
please change this with this.
네.
Right? So in the context of a store,
네.
what are we looking at here, Robert?
네. 이 코트가 좀 커요. 이 코트를 작은 거로 바꾸어 주세요.
Okay.
이 코트가 좀 커요. 이 코트를 작은 거로 바꾸어 주세요. 여기에 이제 좀을 넣어도 돼요. 좀.
More polite request,
그렇죠.
right?
좀 바꿔 주세요.
Okay, so we've got 좀 here as well.
그렇죠. 네.
So 이 코트가 좀 커요. I'm saying this coat is
A little.
a little big,
right?
좀. If I were just to say 이 코트가 커요, just sounds, this coat is big,
그렇죠.
right? But this one just a little big, maybe a size too big.
그렇죠.
So this coat is big, a little bit, a big. 이 코트를 작은 거로 좀 바꿔주세요.
네.
So
그래서 I say 그렇죠 a lot.
yeah,
이거는 그렇죠. 그렇지요. Same. That's right. You are right.
right.
Okay.
Right. It's like a pat on the back.
그렇죠.
right?
그러니까 it's not an answer for a question.
Okay.
Yes, that's
It's
right.
like confirmation.
네, 네,
Right.
네.
Okay. So if I read this one more time, so 이 코트가 좀 커요. This coat is a little big. 이 코트를 작은 거로 좀 바꿔주세요.
네.
Okay. So this coat
네.
with a small one, please change.
네, 그렇죠.
So I'm asking here politely, 좀 바꿔주세요. So
네.
please change this coat for a smaller one.
그렇죠.
Right? So with my form up here,
네.
I have my noun, which is 코트,
네.
코트를.
네.
Because of the final vowel ending, I use 를. 작은 거로. So in this case, I'm asking for a small one.
네.
So my vowel ending, I add 로.
네.
And with the request, instead of saying 바꾸다, I change 바꿔주세요.
네, 맞아요.
Okay.
그리고 이제 이거는 contraction이에요.
Right.
From
조금.
네.
Right. So 조금, a little.
네.
So 좀.
이거는 please지만.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So a little different.
네.
They look the same, but they're different functions.
네.
Okay. So this one's to make a request. This one's a little bit different. Maybe asking permission.
이 사과를 여기 object marker 있어요.
Yep.
바나나로 바꿀 수 있어요. 이렇게.
Okay. So yeah. Go ahead.
이 치마를 저 치마로 바꿀 수 있어요.
Right. So in both of these cases,
네.
kind of asking for permission.
네, 네.
Or asking if it's possible to do this.
네.
So in our first one, we're talking about apples and bananas.
그렇죠.
So I say 이 사과를 바나나로 바꿀 수 있어요. So this apple for this banana, can I exchange? Right?
네, 네.
So again, same idea as before.
네.
noun를 noun로 바꾸다
바꿀 수.
becomes 바꿀 수 있어요.
네.
So 을 수 있어요. Is
네.
it possible? Can I?
네.
Right? So again, can I exchange this apple for a banana?
네.
Okay. Next one.
이 치마를 저 치마로 바꿀 수 있어요.
Right.
그러니까 저 있잖아요. 그러니까 this goes to the speaker, goes to the listener, 저 far from both
Far
people.
from everyone.
네.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So in this case, 이 치마를. So this dress.
그렇죠.
My noun here, 치마.
네.
I add 를. 저 치마로. So
skirt,
that's sorry. Yeah, skirt, not dress. Yeah. So that skirt. So I want to change this skirt for that skirt. Is it possible?
네.
Or is it possible to change this skirt for that skirt?
네.
Okay. So yeah, this form, to change A for B, to exchange A for B,
네.
Right? So again, asking if it's possible, I
네.
would use 바꿀 수 있어요.
네.
And making a request, 바꿔주세요.
네. 네.
Okay. I could use this maybe in a restaurant as well.
Oh,
if
yeah.
I've got options
네,
on a
네.
menu to switch one thing for another.
네. 네.
All I have to do is just change the nouns, right?
네.
So I want to change this for this.
네.
I just add the nouns there.
그렇죠.
Okay. And how about, we saw maybe the last thing here. So asking for permission.
네.
Maybe instead of saying 바꿀 수 있어요, maybe 바꿔도 돼요.
네. 바꿔도 돼요.
or 바꿔도 괜찮아요.
네, 바꿔도 괜찮아요. That's good. 좋아요. 바꿔도 돼요. 바꿔도 괜찮아요. 이렇게.
Right. So again, just asking permission or asking
네.
if it's okay to do that.
네, 네.
Okay. That's easy enough.
음흠.
What's next? Okay, so here we are,
네.
still looking at adjectives here, maybe comparisons here.
네, 네.
So to compare A with B,
네.
right? So like before, we had two dresses, or
네네.
so I want to compare one with the other.
네, 네.
So I can use here this noun,
음흠.
my subject marker,
그렇죠.
and that noun,
보다.
보다, and an adjective.
그렇죠.
So I could say this hat is more expensive than that hat. So 보다 in this case is not the verb to see or
No.
to watch.
아니에요. 이거는 이거. 예.
Okay. All right. All right. So in this case, 보다. So I'm comparing A with B.
그렇죠.
So I'm saying this hat is more beautiful than that hat, or
네.
more expensive than that hat.
그렇죠.
Okay. So our first example.
이 바지가 저 바지보다 커요.
Okay.
바지, pants.
Pants. Yeah. So I'm comparing two pairs of pants.
네.
So I'm saying,
These pants.
yeah, these pants, my subject marker,
네.
are more or are bigger
음흠.
than those
That?
pants.
그렇죠.
right?
네.
So these pants are bigger than those pants. Again, I would say,
이 바지가 저 바지보다 커요.
okay, so my 보다 here acting as then.
네,
So
네.
to compare them both, I'm saying,
그렇죠.
I'm specifying the subject here.
그렇죠.
These pants are bigger than those pants.
네.
Okay.
그리고 또 이것을 먼저 말할 수 있어요. 저 바지보다 이 바지가 커요. 그래도 괜찮아요.
Okay. Yeah, so I can change if I use these as blocks,
네,
kind of
네.
they stay together.
네.
I can change the order of the sentence.
그렇죠.
Okay, as long as I know that my subject is here,
네,
it's
네.
marked by the subject
네.
marker here. So, okay, so that doesn't really matter.
No.
All right.
그리고 이제 더 있잖아요.
Right.
영어에는 more,
More.
or er 거기 있는데 한국말은 있어도 되고 없어도 돼요.
Right. Yeah. So our the here to mean more, or the er marker kind of in
네.
English, to show a comparison.
네.
It's implied.
네.
So we don't actually have to write it. We don't
그렇죠.
actually have to use it, but
네.
but we do sometimes.
Sure. 네.
The next example.
사과가 배보다 싸요. 사과가 배보다 싸요. 바나나가 사과보다 더 싸요. 바나나가 사과보다 더 싸요. 바나나가 가장 싸요. 바나나가 가장 싸요.
Okay. So here we're talking about three
네.
different things.
네.
So 사과, apple, 배, pear, and banana. Banana. So in the first one, we're comparing apples and pears. So I'm saying 사과가 배보다 싸요.
네.
So apples are cheaper than pears,
네.
right? So our verb 사다, in this case, 싸요, when we conjugate it. So I'm comparing again, 사과가 배보다 싸요.
네.
Okay? I don't use the here, but I
Right.
could.
네.
I do use it in the next one to
네.
really emphasize, because I'm
그렇죠.
talking about a third item.
네.
So what is this?
바나나가 사과보다 더 싸요.
Okay, I already know that apples are cheap, but here I'm saying that bananas, as the subject of this sentence, 바나나가 사과보다 더 싸요.
네.
So kind of saying bananas are even cheaper
네.
than apples.
네.
Here I'm saying apples are cheaper than pears. Bananas are cheaper than
네.
apples.
그렇죠. 바나나가 가장 싸요. 가장.
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 The best
그렇죠.
or the
or
most.
제일.
제일.
Yeah,
number one. Yeah. Okay, so in this case again, banana가. So my subject is bananas. 바나나가 가장 사요 or
네.
제일 사요. So
있어요.
the cheapest,
네,
the best deal.
그렇죠.
Okay. Okay, so here we're talking about things being cheap. So 사요, the verb
싸요.
사다.
네.
The opposite of cheap,
네, 비싸요.
비싸요.
네.
Okay,
또 배가 비싸요.
right.
사과가 배보다 덜 비싸요. 사과가 배보다 덜 비싸요.
Right. So we've seen from the previous examples here that the pears are not cheap. In fact, the pears are expensive. So
네.
배가 비싸요 or 비싸요. And we know that the apples are cheaper than the pears.
네.
So here I'm kind of saying the same thing a little differently. So 사과가 배보다 덜 비싸요.
덜 비싸요.
Now what's going on here? Why do we have a 덜?
네. 여기 이거 있어요.
Yeah.
그러면 이거예요.
Okay.
이거는 more.
Yeah, right. So 더 up here is more. We
네.
just add real and that
네.
becomes less.
네.
So like I said before, maybe that apples are cheaper than pears.
네.
I can also say that apples are less expensive than
네.
pears.
네.
The rest of the sentence stays the same.
그렇죠.
And Robert, like you said before, maybe I could put 배보다
Sure.
사과가 덜 비싸요.
네,
You
괜찮아요.
still know which one I'm
네,
emphasizing, which
yeah.
one I'm talking about?
그래서 always the one with the subject marker. That's
Okay.
what we're talking about.
Right. We just have to hope that the speaker is not
네.
omitting the subject markers, right?
네.
Okay.
그래서 여기 이제 더 또 가장 most 제일 덜 is less.
Okay.
네.
All right. Yeah. So our comparative 더, our superlative 가장,
가장.
or 제일,
제일
right?
좋아요.
And then less, kind of the opposite of more.
네.
So 덜,
네.
very close to 더,
네,
just an
네.
extra real.
네.
Okay. So there are the basic tools that you need to make comparisons in Korean.
네.